The 9 patch block is so our block this time is the 9 patch block. The clue is in the name. We're using 9 patches to make it up. So what we're going to do is use 2 contrasting fabrics. You want 5 of one and 4 of the other. For me, I always find that it's more pleasing to my eye to have the darker one as the central one. Again, we're going to be joining it with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I will chain piece it as I go, and you just make sure as you check as you go that you're getting them in the right order. I always join a few, lay them out so I can check. For this one we're using 4.5 inch blocks. So just get the machine set up and get those joined. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I've got them right size together. Just line those up. So I've got them laid out on the table next to me, and I'm just picking up 2 from each row and just making sure that one is a white on white, but there is a definite right side and wrong side, so that's why I'm just checking. Alright, so that's the first 2 from each row joined, or will be when I've done this one. With scissors, just take those 2 off, I'm going to separate them, and then I'm going to just lay them back out in their rows beside me, so that I'm just making sure that I am going to join the right ones together. So you know that if you're joining the same colour to each other, you've got them in the wrong order. So take those off. I've got one more to add on to that one. I'm going to separate those off. So what I'm going to do now is press these, and we're going to then join our rows together. So what you want to do when you're pressing is think of the order that you're going to be joining in. You want to press all the seams going one way on one row, all the other way on the next row, and that means that we can then just nest our seams up together when we're joining together. I'll just go and press those. So there we are. I've just pressed my rows. Just make sure, lay them out as you go. Make sure that you're getting them the right way. So press the seams on this one that way. My centre one is going that way. Turn that over, and we're going to join it right size together. Just line those seams up, but those seams up together where they've pressed. Make sure that's straight. So just lining each seam up as I go. just make sure now that you've got them in the right order. You don't want to spoil it now. So there's my centre one, that's my end one. Just make sure that I've got my seams going the right way. Goes that way. Flip that over, and again line that up. There we go, just take that thread round to the back. There we go, so I can press that open and then trim it, make sure that it measures out at your 12.5 inch. So as you stitch and fabric will move, you may come slightly off the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So whenever we finish, we want to make sure our block is 12.5 inches square. So for this one, I'm just making sure that the 4¼ inch, we're taking into account the seam allowance, is running down there, and we're checking those lines there, and just trim in the top and the bottom. As you can see, just a tiny sliver comes off there. Turn it round, just line that up there. Just make sure that's all centered up. Let's go. And then off there. And that's nicely trimmed for when we add our sash in.